Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Aytekin, the founder and CEO at Jotform. Hello.
Hello, Christian. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for joining our podcast. At first, please tell us what your company does.
So Jotform is an online form builder. I started it 18 years ago. It's been a while, almost 2 decades.
Wow.
And we have 25 million users. And it's a free product that you can use to create forms. But
Mm-hmm.
forms were kind of just for us, just the start. So in addition to the forms, like we started building all these automation features because people use forms for a reason, and usually that's like there's a workflow, there's a business process they need to automate. And once we discovered that, we started building all these additional features as well. Um, let's say like you have these like registration form or like sign up form, something like that, right? When someone actually fills out that form, it's not the end. Like maybe you need to approve that person. Maybe you need to generate documents. Like we have this PDF generation feature. Maybe you need them a document to sign. Maybe you need to take a payment from them. So we have all these additional features. But what's really unique and important about Jotform is it's free. And until like some point, like it's free. Like in the forms, it's like 100 form submissions per
Mm-hmm.
month, and that's the reason why we have 25 million users. And all the additional products we built, they're also free as well. Like they also have like limits and free features, so you can just go and start using them for free, and then you can upgrade to a paid plan if you actually use it a lot. Otherwise, like
Yeah.
you just become one of those millions of free users, and that's been our biggest marketing strategy
Channel.
to
Yeah.
kind of grow as a business. Yeah.
Amazing. That's amazing. And what would you say is the biggest problem that the tool solves for people, for businesses?
Um, like it's a very horizontal product, so it's used by anybody, like any kind. Like we have all kinds of industries, like but what we see very common, like our top customers are actually in organizations that actually have that needs to like deal with a lot of people, uh, like education,
Yeah.
healthcare, nonprofits, small businesses, right? Let's say you are an educational organization, so you have students, teachers, parents, like other administrators. Like you have all these different people that you need to kind of work together with. And it's like
Yeah.
if you are just doing that communication one on one, like just if you are just doing everything like manually by over email or just talking to them or on the phone, it's just very time consuming thing. But if you can actually just create a form, and a chat form, like we call ourselves like powerful forms, right? Our
Yeah.
tagline is powerful forms. And because just having this like very simple form is usually not enough, because like you want to automate like many things. Like if someone answers some specific question, like you need to ask like 20 more questions, right? Maybe you need to send another email to someone else. We have all these automation features that makes Jotform forms powerful, and these are actually especially used a lot by these organizations that involve a lot of people, and like education, nonprofits, and healthcare, like they involve with a lot of people. In the small business, like in these small companies, like these small service businesses, for example, what happens is that they also have a lot of customers, and maybe they are just like a one person company, and they have
Yes.
like hundreds of customers. Like what do? Like they use forms to automate all those communications and prevent all those accidental misunderstandings, because you can also do like validations on forms. So forms are like just like all software is about automation, right? If you think about it, but forms are also like software, but it's just they are kind of automating the communication between people.
Yes.
And with the with the AI, I think it's just gonna change everything in the coming years. and not like right, we have to think about that as well. So we are working on a new AI product. We haven't released it yet, but we are thinking about like how can we replace forms with AI, and
Yes.
working on that as well. And that's actually very exciting. Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. And was the tool always free, or did you discover it on the journey that you need to offer this to people?
It was always free, and so I was working as a like developer for a media company before I started Jotform.
Hmm.
From like 5 years until like 2005, and so I quit my job, and then I started working on Jotform, and I didn't know anything about like management or like marketing, PR or anything like that. But I was reading a lot, and so I wanted to kind of like when I released the product, I wanted to really get a chance to get people to use the product, and I think that's probably the main reason that it was all free in the beginning. Like just Jotform was free. Like I released it in 2006 February, and until like 2007 March, we didn't even have a paid version, and it was all free. And I discovered that we get a lot of feedback from users when it's free, and we get a lot of people to use it. And March 2007, when I released the premium version, which was like only like $9 a month, and I had like 15,000 people sign up for Jotform and using Jotform. And then as soon as I released the premium version, like 500 of them upgraded to the premium version. So that was that. I discovered that if you can get people to use a free product, if you can build that trust, because like the biggest problem in the beginning when you have like a software company, when you have a service, or it doesn't have to be software, it could be service as well or product as well. Like how can people actually like really try your product, really trust your product? How do you build that relationship with people?
Yes.
And I think free is a great way to, because it's just everybody wants to when I go to conferences, like I have like so many t-shirts, but I will grab a lot of t-shirts, and
Yes.
like just because it's free, you know yeah, people love free. I
Yes.
also
Yes.
love free.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the product-led growth is now a trending topic in every software company. What would be your best piece of advice for someone looking to implement this type of pricing? Because some people say that the costs are too high, or they cannot convert users, or they attract users that just want free. So there
Yeah.
are a lot of misunderstandings in the space. But you've done it well.
So yeah, I guess the question is like there are like multiple choices you can have as a software company. Like you can have like a freemium model, like we
Mm-hmm.
have. You have a free version. It's full functional. It's like people can really fully use it, and then they can upgrade to a paid version. Right, that's one model. Another model is like this trial. Like you give them a trial, like 15 days, 30 days. They try it and then they upgrade. And another one is like you can just make it all paid, and there are some software that even like you don't even give them the pricing, like just they have to contact you, talk to a
Yes.
salesperson, right? There are
Yes.
different ways,
Yes.
and it sometimes depends on the company, but especially if you are product led, I think it's very important to build that relationship with people. And what happens is that like many companies actually do freemium, like our model, and then one day they will say, okay, let's like, hey, everybody's talking about like doing trials, or everybody's talking about don't give it free, like just get them to pay for it, because there are people say things like free users sucks, and because they're not going to
Yes.
really value your product, things like that.
Yes.
And so they will actually try that, like they will try like trial, they will try like this fully paid upgrade version, like no free version, and then they will just test it for like a few months, and they will you know announce victory, and they will say, hey, we'll never look back to freemium because this is great, like our revenues increased this much.
Yes.
And I want to give you like just one story from the past. Like
Please.
we kind of did that with one of our features. So Jotform is actually very big in payment forms. People use like we have like integration with over 40 payment products like PayPal,
Yeah.
Stripe, Square, and and we thought that, oh, okay, these people are actually, getting paid, and we are not even charging like a fee, like percentage fee, unlike our competitors. And we had this limit like 10. You can just receive like 10 payments per month. Like if you want to receive more than that, like you had to upgrade, which is not very expensive. And we thought, okay, they are getting paid. They have the money.
Exactly.
Let's reduce that limit. Like let's reduce that limit from 10 to 3, because we wanted still people to be able to try it, like just see how it works, like just get like one payment or something. They're getting, they get paid, so it's obvious that we shouldn't make this like free, right?
Right.
And we did that, and like a few months, like we did this, we did this switch, and then like our revenues increased, like so many people were upgrading. And but we also saw like some people were like giving bad reviews. They were getting angry, like hey, this company, they changed, like they were free, and then they lowered their limits. So we kind of lost some trust with people as well when we did that. And but we still, when we looked at overall, like our revenues actually grown. So we were getting paid more, and more people were upgrading. And we also internally announced victory. Okay, this is good. Like, and we didn't feel bad about it, because these people were actually like earning revenues. Like they can
Yes.
pay like, $20-$30 a month. So, but then I like, I think it was like a year later. So one of the things I really love is like dashboards. Like we have like so many dashboards in our business. Like just we have dashboards for everything.
Okay.
And I was actually looking at dashboard for like our payment forms. And what I discovered was like we had this growth chart that was always going up and up and up. And then until a year ago, where we actually introduced, like reduced those like limits, and then suddenly the growth chart was straight, it was a straight line. So it actually straight lined. Basically, we kind of stopped growing our payment forms. And even though like 3 seems like a lot, it's probably, I don't know why, but people thought that it wasn't enough. Maybe
Psychological. Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't use the product. They didn't try the product. So something happened there, and for
Okay.
some reason, that growth actually stopped. And we decided, okay, this was a bad experiment. Let's increase the limits back to 10 payments per month. And that was a good. We learned a lesson, and
Yes.
then after that, our payment growth increased. Today, like there are like, I think $3 or $4 billion of payments actually go through Jotform forms,
Wow.
because like we don't take a percentage. Like you can just go use any payment gateway. We don't take a percentage. Whatever fees you are paying to that payment gateway, you are paying that. We are not. We don't even like having a percentage from that or anything like that. And we only have like if you receive more than 10 payments per month, like then you upgrade to a paid plan, which is not very expensive.
Yes.
So, and that was a lesson we learned, that I think there are like 2 important things are there. Like you should always, like we always offer all of our products for free, and we always have, and we don't just limit them too much that like people cannot use it. Like we want to make sure that we have limits that people can actually use the product, get value from it, and build a relationship with them, like build that positive feeling with our users. And then also people upgrade to a paid plan. So I mean, yeah, there is like all this talk about like trials are better, or like don't have a free version, but that didn't work for me actually. So it's like I prefer the free. And whenever we release a new product, like we just released our workflow product, which is like kind of like automates many of the things. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you want to assign a task to someone when someone fills out the form, like if you want to have like approvals, we already had an approval feature, but we actually included in the new product as well. But we you can build these like very complex workflows using like this visual chart, and that's also like free. Like there is no there is no like limits. You can just use that if you are using Jotform. So we are working on this AI product. It's also going to be free until this until a limit. So every product we release, we keep that philosophy. We keep that free version with our products.
It's in the company's DNA, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. I love your mindset and thank you so much for sharing this. Now, I'm curious to know how many team members do you have right now?
We have over 600 team members at
Wow.
Jotform. We
That's
have
amazing.
offices around the world. Our R&D is in Turkey, and more like business, marketing, sales are in the US.
Yeah.
But we also have offices in we have our Vancouver office in Canada. We have a London office in the United Kingdom, and we have a Sydney office in Australia. But like majority of our employees are R&D, like product and development teams are in Turkey.
And are you the only founder?
Yeah, I was the only founder when I started, and I'm still the only founder. And I'm bootstrapped, so 100%, still 100%. This is great because I have the freedom, and I don't have to worry about like the next quarter. I worry about the next
People.
5 years as opposed to the next quarter. Yeah.
That's amazing. So an amazing bootstrap story. I knew this from the past, but I didn't get to interview you. What would be your best piece of advice for someone that says, I want to quit my job and start my own business, and I want in 18 years to scale to 600 people?
Don't quit your job right away. My advice is usually don't quit your job if you haven't really proved something that this product could work. The reason I was confident about this business was like before I started Jotform, I was working for this media company in New York, and like we had like over 100 websites, and I was helping all these editors for these websites, and like they would constantly come to me, and I was just this developer, individual contributor developer. They were constantly coming to me to build forms for them, like contact forms, questionnaires, surveys, polls, like contests, contest registration forms, like all kinds of forms. And I knew like so much about forms at this point, and I actually knew a lot about the market as well, because like I was trying to find a product that could actually take this away from me. Like I couldn't find a product, and I knew like I could actually build a product, and I knew that there was a big need in the market, and because I was so sure about that, I actually did that. But I would recommend that on the side, just build something, see like if people really use it, like just release it as a free product. Like you can do that if you are if you're a student, or if you are like working full-time somewhere else, like just work on your nights and weekends, and just release something and see that if there is like a real attention. And only when you see that, I think you should quit your job and go full-time on this. And once you start going full-time, I have this rule that I call 50-50 rule. And I always talk about this to the startups that I mentor. And so 50-50 rule is like you should be spending half of your time with your product and half of your time with your growth. And this means like you should be spending as much time you spend, like if you're a tech founder, right? You actually love being in the code, you love like the technology, but maybe you're not interested in like the marketing side, growing your product, right? But the problem is like you can have the best product in the world, but if no one is using it, like you're not going to be able to improve it, right? You're not going to be able to get feedback from people so that you can improve it, see what they use, like which features they use. That's exactly what I did when I started, like just try to get as many people to use my product. Yes. And I also mentored some startup founders who were really good at marketing, who were really good at sales. Like they could just they could do great SEO and bring lots of people to their website. They were like great salespeople. They would always like, hey, this month I was able to convince this big customer to, buy my product. But what happened was that like, because they didn't really work on their product, because their product didn't really had like, it doesn't have to be product market fit, but it didn't really work well because it
Yes.
had like so many problems. Like they would bring people and then they would lose them a few months later. They would sell to some big customers and those customers wouldn't stay with them. So it's important to have that balance, like just have that balance, work on your product, work on your growth. And if at some point, if you feel like you have a good product, but no one is coming to your website, no one is coming to your mobile app or something, right? You focus on growth at that point, like just next 3 months, 6 months, you just focus on growth. Even your developers, maybe you just tell them, okay, we are going to focus on growth next 6 months. And so that, once you have that traffic, once people are coming, and then you can actually continue like really shining your product. And I always had that. Like even today, I'm like I have like a COO who's like kind of taking care of everything for me, but
Yes.
I'm just focused on like 2 projects. So one of them is like the Jotform AI, the AI product. So usually like Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm working on Jotform AI, like meeting with the teams that are working on those products, meeting with the product people, designers. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm focused on like our enterprise growth because we were this product-led company for most of the time, and only recently we actually started our enterprise version. So I'm trying to figure out like the enterprise, and it's just something I
Yes.
don't understand at all. But I'm watching these SaaSter conferences, things like
Yeah.
that, and so it's a lot. So I'm still like 50 on growth and 50 on product, and I'm actually spending most of my time, as opposed to building the product, I'm talking to the people who are building the product or who are actually doing the growth. But I'm also spending a lot of time like learning, like just going like reading books, watching YouTube videos about like AI or about enterprise sales to try to figure them out. And I love that. I love the growth mindset. Having a growth mindset for a founder is it's a requirement because like you don't know like hundreds of things. Like you have to figure them out, and you just have to learn so many new things. And actually, that's the best part I love about what I do.
Never stop learning, right?
Yeah.
So much value. So much value. Thank you so much. I have one last question for you before we close the episode. I'm curious to know what's your favorite SaaS product that you use?
So I use Jotform
Apart
a lot,
from
but I think
Jotform.
it's a cheat.
Yes.
Yeah, it wouldn't count. Like because now I'm dealing with enterprise sales, like just HubSpot CRM. We are using it a lot, and they actually build like so many features, just like Jotform. Like I was feeling like maybe we are overbuilt. Like we have like hundreds and thousands of features and products, so many products, so many features. But HubSpot CRM kind of similar. They have, everything you are thinking about, like, just, maybe, you want to make sure you want to watch some like Zoom meeting between your salespeople and the customer, and you go to HubSpot and you can actually watch that. Maybe you want to do something else, like they made it so flexible. And so it's a great product. Yeah, we use it a lot. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. It was amazing conversation. It was like 5 minutes past. I really appreciate all the value that you shared and hope to meet in person soon.
Thank you, Christian. Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
so
you.
much.
Yeah. Bye-bye.